Good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Godly Business Podcast. And so today I wanted to dive into something that I feel like is always the reason why people are looking for a sales coach or a sales consultant. At least one of the main reasons why people are reaching out to sales to learn how to sell. And one of the main reasons is to how to overcome objections. That seems to be the main focus of most people when they decide they want to get sales training. So I want to discuss why that should not be your main concern and instead what you should be focused on. Hi, I'm Anne Jean-Pierre, and I'm host of the Godly Business Podcast and also coach and consultant with Better Sales Women. In this channel, we discuss everything sales related and oftentimes discuss biblical principles around sales as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around, please subscribe, and let's go. So the first thing I want to discuss is the reason why you want to focus on objection so much. So if objection is something that you're constantly thinking about, I believe you have a fear around not being able to sell or pitch your product properly. So it's not so much that you have an issue with objection, but you have the true issue is not being able to pitch your product properly and therefore not getting enough buy-in and getting people to say more no's, and then now focusing on how to overcome the no. So the first thing I would say is instead of focusing on potentially getting no's and how to potentially getting a bunch of no's and then trying to figure out how to overcome the no's, I want you to then instead focus on how you can learn about what your person's prospects, client, future client, pain points are. The reason why you want to start there are twofold. One, understanding their pain points, understanding what their true problems are, give you the way and the reason why and how to pitch your product and service to them. So if you understand what their pain points are, it allows you to do that. The second thing is if you understand the language that they use around their pain points, it allows you to target them even more, right? Have you ever seen a commercial or an ad where it's like, this is exactly what I'm going through? Most of the time it's because it's using the exact same language that you use around this same issue, right? It's bringing up some questions that you yourself have been bringing up to yourself, if that makes sense. So because of that, then it understands your pinpoint. It understands your concern. So it's bringing those things back to your face and saying, do you ever have to blah, blah, blah? Do you deal with this, and that? And it's like, oh yeah, I do deal with this, and that, right? So because it's using the language that you use and it's speaking to your pain point, you are now all of a sudden paying attention, right? So instead of focusing on, everything else about how to overcome objection, the first thing I want you to focus on is learning your prospect's pain point and also learning their language around their pain point. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing that I would need you to do is once you learn their language and their pain point, I want you to understand how to pitch your product. Oftentimes when people, we hear, okay, don't focus on the features, right? Focus more on the benefits. But do you understand what the benefits are that your prospect is looking for, right? I'm going to give you a very simple example. Like, let's say this person, your coach, and this person comes to you and wants to lose 15 pounds, right? And if your focus is just on getting them to lose 15 pounds, you may be missing the point. Versus if their goal of coming to you is I want to lose 15 pounds because I want to be able to run a mini marathon, then your approach and pitch to them could be focused on the reason why they want to lose the 15 pounds is to get them ready for this mini marathon. So every time you're encouraging them, every time you're pushing them toward their goal, you are reminding them of their why, which is the mini marathon. So, and you focusing on that in your pitch because now you understand their goal, right? Their goal and pain point is not just, hey, I want to lose 15 pounds, is I want to be able to achieve this dream of mine of running a marathon for so long. In order for me to do that, I believe I need to lose 15 pounds. It could be that they don't need to lose 15 pounds, right? It could be that that's what they think is what they need to lose is 15 pounds. But in your discovery, you're like, you don't need to lose 15 pounds in order for me to get you ready for a marathon. But their goal is the marathon, right? So asking discoverable questions in order for you to understand exactly what your client, your prospect is looking for, their why, will also very, very much help you to pitch based on their why. So when you're pitching, pitch on their why, not just, hey, yes, she wants to lose 15 pounds. The 15 pounds, you'll be lighter, you'll fit better in your clothes, blah, blah. All those are other benefits that, yeah, they're great. But the main thing for her, for him or her, your imaginary client that we're using right now, is they want to run this marathon. So I want you to focus on their bigger picture, their bigger dream, their bigger why. In order for you to do that, you have to be able to ask questions. You have to be able to dig deep and get to the core of what it is that, they're looking for. Okay. Now, to speak to their pain point, how to speak their language, and how to discover their true why in order for you to pitch to that specific thing. Now, once you have that, you might be ready to have the discussion of the money conversation and getting them on board and things like that. This is often time where a lot of salespeople drop the ball, and this is where oftentimes people would do their pitch in a sense of like, hey, this is how beneficial this program would be for you. This is blah, blah, blah. This is everything that we have to offer, all of that thing. And then they never actually ask for the sell. Now, if you have seen any of my videos, this is something I harp on a lot. And you will probably see this in any thing that I speak about is asking for the sell. Why? Because 63% of salespeople don't ask for the sell, don't ask for the commitment. And if you don't ask for the commitment, the person may not know, okay, it's time for me to move forward. Okay, so you need to ask, okay, how about we get this book so we can schedule this on Monday? You have to go ahead and actually ask for the business. You have to ask for their business. So this is something else that is oftentimes missing in the sales conversation that most people are trying to get through, if that makes sense. So those are the three things. And today I went through them pretty fast. But I want you to focus on those three things and not so much on objection, because honestly, if you focus on those, on at least those three to start with, you will probably get a lot less objections in the first place, right? Because here's the thing, we don't want to have to overcome objections, right? We don't want objections at all, right? So wouldn't it be easier to try to get the result you want without having to overcome the objection, which is what are most people's concerns, right? So try out those three things, focus on those three things, and see how they can help you in getting to close more clients, getting to get to your goal, and getting to, get everything that you're looking for, your big why in your business. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. if you find this helpful, leave me a comment. Let me know what are some of the biggest concerns around sales that you are having, and what are some things that you have tried that have been successful, and what are some things that you have tried that have not been successful. And as you know, next week, October 21st, which is kind of crazy to think we are already here at the end of the month, pretty much. It's kind of crazy. But as you know, the end of the month is here, and we are launching the 5-day sales calls challenge. If you missed the early bird special, it's okay. You still have time to register and get a seat for the 5-day sales call challenge. So I invite you to do that. The link will be in the description box. In that sales call, we will talk about some of the things I talk about today, right? How to make your pitch, how to discover your prospect's pain point, how to leverage that to them, and how to close and ask for the sale. Of course, yes, how to overcome objections, but the main thing is we're trying to not even think about getting objections. That's the whole point, is how to have the conversation in a way where you either have no objections or reduce the likeliness of you having objections. But even if you have objections, we will walk you through how to overcome those objections. So hopefully this was helpful. This is all I have for today. It was kind of quick and dirty, but wanted to get that point out to you this morning. I pray that you are blessed. And as always, if you have questions, concern regarding sales, of course, reach out to me. My links will be in the description, but in the description box. But the main person you need to ask is God, as He will teach you, guide you, and counsel you in the way that you should go. That's it for me. So I will see you guys next week, and hopefully I will see you guys in the sales goals challenge. Oh, and tomorrow I will be going live, answering some questions on IG. If you are interested, just check us out. All right. Have a blessed day.